5-time classic physique Mr. Olympia champion Chris Bumstead, aka CBum, a recent modern great of the bodybuilding game. And today, well, actually tomorrow, but kinda today for you guys watching this, I am going to be living a life in CBum's shoes. Prime bulk CBum. I'm going to be eating exactly what he eats. I'm going to be training exactly as he trains. And I'm going to take you through the entire day to document the journey, to show you what a day in the life of CBum looks like, and just to see if I can actually fit his ridiculous levels of discipline into my normal family life, being a dad of 2, working, having my own business. So come along for the journey and let's see how I get on doing my best impression of trying to be CBum for one day. Okay, good morning. It is 10 to 6 and we are on the way to the gymnasium for the first session of the day, which is fasted cardio. So CBum still does his fasted cardio. He still does cardio even when he's in a gaining phase, which is good. I like it. It's, I think there's a few reasons that he does it, and if you have a look into it, he's big on just generally being a healthy guy, which I think you'll see a lot of throughout the course of this day of eating as well. Like, he doesn't just go into like a dreamer bulk like a lot of bodybuilders might have done back in the day. There's a lot of thought process around this stuff, and one of the reasons he still does his cardio in the morning is literally just to stay fit and healthy, right? And he also probably knows, and I'm sure I've heard him say this, that ultimately cardio, if you've got a decent cardiovascular system, that's going to help you with your recovery. It's going to help you between sets when you're resistance training. So it's only going to benefit his weight training side of things, alongside with the fact that it just keeps routine. So if he's kind of structured when he's dieting for a show, and a part of that is getting up in the morning, starting his day with some fasted cardio, it probably sets him up for the day. So there'll be an element of that there. And also I would imagine just counteracting some of the additional calories that he's going to be consuming, so he can consume a little bit more and just keep his composition in decent check all year round. So we're now going to go and do around about 30 to 40 minutes on the Stairmaster. Nothing too intense. I've got a few clients to reply to, so I can utilise that time to do that. And then we're going to come back for meal 1 so we can get stuck into this full day of eating like CBum. Okay, it's 6:30, I'm just back from the gym and I need to get meal 1 down me, which I'm going to show you very, very soon. And I also need to prep for meal 2 because I've actually got calls and work to do. And meal 1 is going to be now, obviously, and meal 2 is a bit of a pre-workout meal for my resistance training session, so for my weights later, which is going to be a big nasty push session. So that is going to be, I'm going to eat my first meal probably about 7 o'clock. My second meal I'm aiming to get in about 10 because I'll be training at around about 11. All seems a bit intense, but this is the life of CBum. So I'm going to show you meal 1 now, which is going to be 100 grams of oats, banana, almond butter, honey, and I think that's about it, and it comes to around about 700 calories total. Some protein powder as well, but I'm going to show you that. And I need to prepare meal 2, so I've got chicken out, I've got broccoli out, I've got rice out, because I won't have time to make that later, so I'm going to make that now so I can eat that at 10 o'clock. So the calories are coming in thick and fast, gains, glycogen replenishment, so I'm going into that gym session absolutely ready to get fucking massive. Not allowed to swear on YouTube anymore. Get massive. So there we have meal 1. I don't know if we can see that. Let's have a little cheeky look. So meal 1 is 100 grams of oats in water. Something that's quite interesting about CBum is, unlike most bodybuilders, where they'll just do anything to get their calories in, CBum's all about like gut health, gut digestion. Like, he wants to do everything clean. So you'll probably notice throughout the course of the day that there's no kind of junk food, so to speak, within my meals. It does mean that getting like 5,000 plus calories in can be quite challenging because you're just eating lots of volume, so you're just constantly going to be full, or I certainly will be. I have no issue consuming 5,000 calories, but when you're doing it from clean foods, it does mean that you have to eat a lot. So a really nice meal, kind of quite high carbohydrate, moderate protein, moderate fat. Looks good, that, doesn't it? Looks pretty damn good. I've also then made my second meal, which I'll show you later on. The one thing that I've noticed already is just a lot of cooking. Now, I'm sure that CBum will have to do a lot of prep here. Might even have a bit of help with that because the pure volume of food that I'm going to have to get through today will require a lot of kitchen time. So mixing that between like kids and work and stuff, it's going to be tough. But again, prepare to fail, fail to prepare, I think is what the professionals say. This is something that I don't think CBum has to deal with. And this is something which is going to cause a little bit of chaos while Daddy's trying to shovel 5,000 calories worth of chicken and broccoli down him, right? Who's bigger, Daddy or CBum?
Thea.
Thea, you're bigger? You're bigger than CBum?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, there we go. I think you could be one day. He's an absolute unit. 6 months, gaining phase has commenced. We are back with meal 2 at 10 AM, which just doesn't feel right to be eating this kind of food at 10 AM. Although I do love chicken and rice. You can't go wrong with chicken and rice. We've got 200 grams of chicken breast, we've got 100 grams of broccoli, and we've got 90 grams of jasmine rice. This is what I cooked earlier because I just simply wouldn't have had time to have made this now I've just come off a call. So I'm gonna eat this, let this digest, and I need to be in the gym in about 45 minutes. So I've got a pre-workout to get down maybe before then as well. And CBum also has 40 grams of basically cyclic dextrin, which is fast digesting carbohydrates intra-workout. So we are carbed up to the max. Obviously a huge portion this morning with the banana, the honey, the oats, more rice coming in now, more carbohydrates intra-workout. So glycogen stores are full to the brim. So it should be a pretty good session from an energy standpoint, that's for sure. I just feel full. Okay, we are making our pre-workout. So pre-workout is essentially just pre-workout, mate. Just gets you excited, bit of caffeine and all that kind of good stuff. So that is what is going in first. Pre-workout in, and then we have our cyclic dextrin. So this is basically fast digesting carbohydrates, known to have very little impact on like your digestive system, which is why a lot of people have them in and around your workouts, because if you sip them even kind of like during your workout, it's gonna essentially kind of keep your glycogen stores, that stored energy within your muscles, topped up all the time. So I can see the benefit of this drastically, especially if you train fasted. Do I need this? No, but it's part of CBum's routine. So, you know, in true CBum fashion, that is gonna go in there as well. Probably should have had the cyclic dextrin as more of an intra-workout thing, but it's going down before. I am full to the brim, full to the brim. Right, we're on our first exercise, which is incline Smith bench press. And do you know what these kind of bodybuilders make you realise? Your sessions, like nowadays, they're so overcomplicated on Instagram and places like that, everybody talking about the optimal way to train, when these guys follow a very basic split, very basic rep scheme. Yes, they focus on things which might give them the extra 1%, like the stretch and the length and partial and stuff, but realistically, it's the basics which work best. So I'm on my second set now. So we're doing 12, 10, 8, 8 with a drop set. So I'm on my second set, so this is 10 reps. Build up the weight, and then as we get towards the back end, we'll do a drop set as well. I'll tell you something as well, because I usually train fasted first thing in the morning, do my weights then. It's totally different coming in here, nearly 300 grams of carbohydrates in. Such a better session, such a better pump. It just doesn't really fit with my timings, especially with work and kids and stuff. I would love to train mid-morning fueled or mid-afternoon fueled, but it ain't really gonna happen. Definitely wasn't the 8 I was after again, but 30 kilograms off. Now the idea is just as many reps as I can with this weight, nice and controlled, so we're not looking to go too fast. Fucking hell. That was a tough first exercise. But that is the incline Smith done. So I've now got about another 5 or 6 exercises to do, but I haven't got loads of time because I've got to get back for the kids. Shock horror. So I'm just gonna do some clips of the session. So we're gonna let this roll. And if I feel like I want to stop and say something, I will. But otherwise, enjoy the montage. Fucking hell. CBum, I'm coming for you. Do you know what? I thoroughly enjoyed that workout. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it just because of the pure volume of food that I've taken on this morning. I thought that I would be a little bit heavy, a little bit sluggish, but I was just the total opposite, man. Felt fucking great. Considering I've been up since 5 o'clock, done some fasted cardio, I've done some work, I've consumed 2 enormous meals, enormous volume-wise at least. I've had pre-workout, I've had extra carbs inside my pre-workout shake. I wasn't expecting to feel as good as I did. Like that reminded me how good it is to be training fueled, and it makes me rethink my training strategy, and if there's any way that I can get my sessions in later in the day. It was that good. So yeah, fucking well enjoyed that. I feel pumped as hell. Again, just highlighting that there's nothing magic about training apart from just training hard and going into you know, take yourself close to failure. Again, like I think Instagram and YouTube and everywhere else nowadays is a bit of a minefield, mate. Like you end up taking on all sorts of information that you just don't even know how to fucking train anymore, because it's just information overload. Whereas actually you go and look at the people who do it best, and it's simple, it's straightforward, it's intense training sessions taken close to failure within the correct rep ranges, a couple of intensifiers which probably don't even matter that much, but it's more for enjoyment and just to keep things interesting. So I'm gonna go home and probably eat some more carbohydrates. I can't remember what my next meal is, to be honest, but I'll probably have to prep a couple because I've got to take my daughter swimming later as well, so that's gonna be fun. I feel like I'm gonna be sluggish as hell in that swimming pool, but I'm gonna get some more food in me, and we'll go from there. Okay, so we're back and we are about to have our next meal, which is, this is the first time that I've ever had this, by the way, which is pretty crazy when you think about it, considering I am, I suppose, a little bit of a gym bro. I've never owned cream of rice in my lifetime, ever. So this meal is 2 servings of cream of rice, which I'm just gonna scan and put into my fitness pal now. Cream of rice, 2 of them bad boys, 2 scoops of protein powder whey, and because I've got chocolate brownie batter cream of rice, I'm going to go for white chocolate hazelnut flavour on the whey. So we've got a bit of contrast here. So we've got like essentially the rip-off of Kinder Bueno mixed in with chocolate brownie batter, mixed with water again, because CBum is all about the fast digestion. So a lot of people will say, I don't have a protein shake after a workout, but that, my friends, is not true. Post-workout shakes are actually excellent because fast digesting straight into your system. There isn't such thing as an anabolic window. The anabolic window is more like an anabolic shed, so you don't need to worry about getting the shaking straight after, but you know, to get some protein straight into the system, which isn't going to upset the digestive system, shakes are fantastic for that. I'm endearing myself to CBum and the fact that he loves almond butter, because he has it. He's going to have it again later in the day as well, believe it or not. So there's 3 servings of almond butter going in here. Biceps and banter, baby, aren't you? Right, taste test. Let's go. It's all right. That's what I'm gonna give that. Bit of a funny texture. I think it's the water. So that puts me on so far for the day, 2,000 dish calories, so 1,962 so far, 144 grams of protein, 268 grams of carbs, and 34 grams of fat. So low in fat, high in carb, high in protein so far. That's quite worrying actually, because we're literally not even halfway through my calories for the day. So we've got another couple of meals to get down us. I've got another one in about 2 hours, 2 hours after that, and then 2 hours after that. Okay, we are on to meal number, what are we on? Meal number 1, 2. Depends if you class the shake with the cream of rice and stuff like that as a meal, but if you class that as a meal, because it's certainly got the calories of a proper meal, we're on to meal 1, 2, 3, meal 4. So it's 3 o'clock, and this is shock horror, some more rice, some more broccoli, and we've got beef mince as well. So 180 grams of beef mince, 90 grams of jasmine rice again. We've got some broccoli in there as well. So this is working out with the cooking oils and stuff like that, around about 700 calories. Again, very dense in protein, dense in carbs. You can see there's a general theme going on here, right? I don't really want to eat because I'm not that hungry. And do you know what it reminds me? And this is something I speak to my clients about all the time. If you are eating whole foods, like volume dense, protein dense foods, which are going to fill you up for a good few hours at a time, it's hard to overeat. Like, it is genuinely hard to overeat. And I'll see what's on there, but there we go. I'm gonna get stuck into this. As you can hear, my little sidekick is getting a bit upset. So more food going down. Guys, I've actually got some really exciting news. For the first time today, I'm actually hungry, which is amazing. It's around about 7:30, so this meal is actually about an hour and a half later than CBum would officially eat it, but I've had to take my daughter swimming. She pooed in the pool. Probably shouldn't say that. We'll keep it in there, but she pooed in the pool. drama. So I've been out for a lot longer than what I expected. And now we are back for our final meal of the day. You can probably guess what it is. It's actually not a quite as lean a source of protein as we've had throughout the course of today, but it's still a protein source with what else other than rice? But this time it's a different kind of rice. It's been jasmine rice up till now. I'm allowed some basmati. So here we have it. We have got chicken thighs, asparagus, and basmati rice. So this is coming in at 850 calories, 62 grams of protein, 87 grams of carbs, and 27 grams of fat. So this one is actually a little bit higher in fat because of the chicken thigh, which is great for protein, but it is a little bit more dense in fat. And obviously a little bit of olive oil as well, which is adding to that fat content, but that's good because that's really satiating, so it keeps you a bit fuller. So this meal's a little bit more about fullness. And then I've just got my pre-bed shake and rice cakes to come later on. So we're on the final countdown, guys, and I'm actually hungry. I'm looking forward to this one for the first time because the rest of the day I've just been getting the food in because I need to get the food in because I'm doing this challenge, whereas I'm looking forward to this one. I apologise to Joe. Joe's the editor and he's just got to hear me chewing down the microphone, which is right next to me, so I apologise, Joe. I'm going to crack on and eat this, and we'll see you before the final meal, if you want to call it that, later on. And then we'll have a bit of a schnapps this, a bit of a breakdown, see how the day's actually gone and what my overriding thoughts are. Okay, we are finishing the day in the office. So it's currently 9 o'clock. So I'm just having my final meal of the day, which is actually something that I eat a lot of anyway. So I usually have this a little bit different to CBum, but I actually invented CBum's meal around about 10, 12 years ago when I was living with my mates. And we used to have it every single night before bed, which is cottage cheese mixed in with whey protein powder, almond butter, and some dark chocolate. Now, he does his ever so slightly different, but it's basically the same thing, which finishes off a nice day of eating. I've also had some rice cakes, but I forgot to record myself eating those. This is around about another kind of 700 calories, really dense in protein, again around about 60 grams of protein, a little bit higher in fats, again just for satiety, and it sits on the stomach a little bit more, so you go to bed and you're not hungry essentially. But I'm weirdly kind of feeling quite hungry at this time of day. I was not hungry at all for the first kind of 5-6 hours of the day. I think it's just because I was trying to cram meals in, obviously get the training session done, etc. So it just felt a little bit intense. As the day's gone on, the hunger has actually crept in a little bit, so I could quite easily do this day again. So I'm gonna give you a bit of a rundown on the total numbers, the final numbers for the day, and then just my general thoughts on things. So total numbers. Protein, 332 grams, which is a lot, right? And as it should be for someone like CBum, it requires that amount of protein. Generally speaking, I would aim for around about 200 grams, which is, I'm 90-ish kilograms at the moment. So you're looking at just over 2 grams per kilogram body weight, which for me is about right. I mean, it could be slightly more if you wanted to play it safe, I suppose, but 332 is naturally a lot, but again, perfectly fine. Carbohydrates, 552 grams, so pretty high carb. And the benefit of carbohydrates being high is they are what we call protein sparing. So when you're consuming lots of carbohydrates, your body utilizes that as fuel and not protein, and it doesn't break down muscle tissue either. So carbohydrates are fantastic. I mean, listen, I push carbs on my clients all the time from a training perspective. Listen, there's time and a place to remove them, of course, but 552 grams of carbs, so we've got those bad boys in there. And then fats, 116 grams. So moderate, kind of moderate fats. They could go way lower at the back end of a diet. When I get back to my dieting, I could be touching 25-30 grams of fats to prioritize more protein and carbohydrates when I'm dieting. So a really well balanced day. Again, everything was super clean and lots of volume in the food. I probably wouldn't go quite as volume dense, and as I mentioned earlier, it might be quite cool now to try a bodybuilder who maybe, or somebody else who doesn't quite take the same super clean approach, just to get a feel for that as well. But I've enjoyed it. Like, I've really, really fucking enjoyed it. My workout was absolutely class. I've been pumped all day long. It's really nice to be full of glycogen and energy. I've enjoyed it. The first part of the day was a bit of a struggle, and I was thinking, do you know what, there's no way that you could do this and maintain like a normal life. But I've actually kind of come around and thought, do you know what you could do with a little bit of pre-planning? So if I was to carry on eating like this tomorrow, it would be quite simple, because all of the meals that I've made, I would simply bulk cook them. And that's something that people do wrong all the time anyway. It's just trying to make their food every single day. I am going back into a mini cut now, but I've thoroughly enjoyed being CBum for the day. So CBum, watch out mate, I'm coming for your fucking crown, lad. No, I'm not really, because I'm 36 and Definitely past my best. Do you know what? Fuck, I'm not past my best actually. My best is still to come. So let me know if you'd like me to do any other challenges. Someone's already mentioned about doing Rich Piana's 8-hour arms workouts, which apparently adds an inch to your arms in one day. So that might be quite interesting. But if anybody else has got any other day in their life, it doesn't have to be a bodybuilder, it can be an athlete, it can be anything at all. I'm open to ideas, I'm open to suggestions. Drop it in the comments, subscribe, like, all that stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.